Elon Musk was asked to stop tweeting, and I mean, forever, and not just by me and many other people, by somebody who's actually pretty important to him, who's not his girlfriend. Anyway, I'll explain in a second. Also, I'll tell you a little bit more about all the trouble he's getting himself into with that one tweet that we all know and love by now. And one of the people who commented on my video about BMWs yesterday is literally ready to get caught in a burning BMW, then doing this one thing that has to do with Tesla. And so I'm going to feature his comment as comment of the day because I think it's one of the funniest comments we've had in a while. Anyway, let's get going with all of this coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, electric.
Welcome to those of you who are watching me live on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting my show and this shirt that I'm wearing today. I think it's the first time I'm wearing a white shirt on a screen, mainly because I ran out of ketchup today, so there's no chance of me getting a stain on it in the next couple of days until I get some more from Safeway. But also, if this is your first time watching me, welcome to the channel. If you're interested in staying up to date on everything that's going on in the world of electric cars and Elon Musk, there's a subscribe button down there, and it's free. It's free. Anyway, click on that so you don't miss anything moving forward. But let's get going with this story now. So Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, that is in a bit of trouble with this tweet that he sent about, you know, taking Tesla private. As great an idea as it was, I think it's a great idea actually. But there's a report that came out in New York Times, and somehow I forgot to have a slide about it. So I'm gonna create a slide really quick for this. But basically, New York Times reporting is that some of the board members of Tesla are getting a little bit worried about what kind of trouble he's getting everybody in, and they have publicly, I mean privately, and now that the story is out there, here, I just did it on the fly. So here's what New York Times says. It says multiple directors have recently told Mr. Musk that he should stop using Twitter, with one urging him to stick to building cars and launching rockets, according to people familiar with the board's communications. Holy crap! There's somebody really upset with him. I wonder if he like told him that over like you know, at the water cooler, or if it was like you know, the board meeting. But this is pretty bold move. Now there are a few of those directors who are completely independent from him. They're not his buddies or previous or family members really. So this is a pretty bold move there. And you know, I mean, I've said it many times. I think it's not a bad idea at all for him to do that, because all he does is gets himself in trouble. I mean, we still remember the pedo comment where even the biggest Tesla fanboys out there criticize him, and I think Ben was the one who said, "Elon, stop tweeting." And when Ben says that, there's a lot of crap going on that a lot of Tesla fans do not like. Now, I personally, listen, I don't care about Elon. I mean, I think he is one of the most important people in the world, and I've said it many times, but I don't care about him personally per se. I care more about Tesla as a brand, and more important about the electric car movement in general. And you know, if you think about it, only a year when somebody like mentioned Elon Musk somewhere in late night TV or in a news report or even a, you know, comedy sitcom or whatever, it was always like this cool billionaire who invented this amazing car and flying people to Mars. But now, if you notice the same, you know, late night shows and everything, whenever they mention Elon Musk, it's because of his kind of a Trump-like behavior and erratic behavior. And this is not good new image that he has. And I don't like that, because again, he can do whatever the hell he pleases, but this affects negatively us, the community. So, you know, I maybe they can take a vote on that. You know, all in favor of Elon deleting his Twitter account? All right. By the way, put in a comment section. As a matter of fact, that's going to be a question of the day in this video. Should Elon Musk delete his Twitter account? And let's see. Oh, and when you answer that, make sure that they'll let us know if you're a Tesla owner, reservation holder, or not owner, reservation holder at all. All right. Well, okay. So let me talk about what trouble that he's getting into today with the Securities and Exchange Commission. But before that, of course, I want to mention that this video and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. There's a discount code in the description of this video. Grab it. save some money, and enjoy accessories for your Tesla. All right. Now, as you know, Securities and Exchange Commission is kind of overseeing the way the public companies act. So there was a report that they launched the investigation into the tweet that the tweet, right? I'm just going to call it the tweet now. This one. And there were a couple of reasons. There were a couple of rumors. One is because it was done on Twitter, and this is not sort of an equal opportunity communication platform. Though he has been cleared of very similar claim before. There's now what I think it's up to 5 lawsuits also filed against him and Tesla. But mainly it's because of that little part of there where he said funding secured. Now he explained since then what he meant. He basically said that he met with Saudis, and when he left that meeting, I think on July 31st, he had no doubt that they were ready to invest and move forward with it. But now there's a report that the Securities and Exchange Commission is actually not satisfied with that explanation, and they go into, I believe, they subpoenaed. Now they subpoenaed Tesla, and which kind of indicates that this is the official beginning of their investigation, and that's a problem. Yeah, it's definitely a problem. Now, of course, when you say funding secured, there's got to be. I'm assuming this is my guess. So I'm assuming when you say funding secured and you see you have a public company that can affect the stock, there's got to be a signature somewhere on some paper saying that. Having a tingly butterflies in your stomach about the possible deal may not be it. So I think that's what they're talking about. So we'll see what happens, but they're definitely moving forward with this. And I'm wondering, like, can he do jail time for this? Like, can Elon actually and will he allow Twitter in his jail cell? It's all important questions, guys. But this can really be trouble for him. And gee, I hope not. But yeah. All right, let's move on to something else. Faraday Future. This company that we first were excited about, then we were angry at, and then they said goodbye to, then we said hello to again, and then we're wondering why the hell their CEO, who's a troublemaker, really, really, it's a common theme lately, is still a CEO, and now the new company that's I believe now owns 45% of Faraday Future, because they just dumped a couple of $1 billion, at least committed to a couple of $1 billion to bail them out and move them forward. Well, they're now establishing their headquarters in China. Now, it's not really clear if this is going to be the world headquarters or just Chinese headquarters, because technically they have headquarters here in California. They're a small factory here in California. Now there's a pressure on the CEO to get first deliveries by the end of the year, and it looks like they're heading that way. It looks like the production has officially started and they're doing very well. They've been posting pictures and videos on their YouTube channel, so it looks like things are moving forward. But the thing is this. He's in so much trouble with Chinese governments because some of the debt and all of stuff. He's been really blacklisted from a lot of financial activities, travel activities, and so forth. And the Chinese government actually ordered him to come back. Come back over here. They said, and he said, no, I'm cool. California, nice weather. No. Well, if Faraday Future is going to have headquarters in China, especially if it's worldwide headquarters, which I don't know if they are, well, how is he going to do business if he can't do business there? As a matter of fact, I think they're targeting 5 million cars produced in the next 10 years in China, which is not really actually that much if you think about it, but it's a good goal for a startup. Then what's going to happen? So some people are saying that maybe this is the first step from to removing him as a CEO. Now, by the way, I think it's a great idea. I think the biggest problem I think with Faraday Future is going to be him, and sooner or later they will have to somehow get rid of him or get him under control. But this is an interesting step. Again, Faraday Future is really going to be a thing by the end of the year. Maybe not a big thing, but a thing. Definitely not a dead thing that like it was literally in December. And of course, I welcome anybody who is a new kid on the block as far as electric cars are concerned. Tony in the chat room on Patreon says it may not be a bad idea for Elon to step away from Twitter for a while, although his intentions might be just they have great potential to cause distraction for Tesla. He's one of the great agreed. Tony, he's one of the greatest inventors of our time, but should probably take a chill pill as it relates to social media. Absolutely agree. Tony, as many times I always agree with you. And by the way, this is the chat that runs in a Patreon as people watch me live there. By the way, Here's your link, patreon.com/e4electric. You can support me there. And you know what? Let me give a shout out to one of the new Patreons, Dominique Livacoli. Thank you so much for becoming a patron. Hopefully you're watching, maybe watching me on replay. But I also sort of as a bonus do this segment called The Extra Mile, where I talk to my patrons after I stop recording for the YouTube. So you might want to join us in this conversation. Also, I post some pictures and videos, some fun stuff for you guys. Actually, today I'm going to post the picture of my, I don't know if you guys know, but my very first Tesla was signed by Elon Musk, and I kept the visor, the sun visor from it, and I put it on the wall along with some magazine covers from 2012. Well, Tesla was announced like the best car of the year and all that stuff. So I just took a picture of that because I just remembered to have it. And now that I'm here in Sacramento, I put it on the wall again, and it looks great. All right, and also, by the way, let me give a shout out to Zach and Jesse, who had with the channel Now You Know. We've collaborated a few times, and they just had a 100th episode, which I enjoyed all of their episodes. But they were giving shout outs to a lot of people, and I got in there myself. Check this out.
Europe with us. He always has our back. A huge shout out to you, Stephen.
Alex from E for Electric. Thank you so much. You know, we've collaborated on a bunch of things together. You're great.
Trevor from
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Thank you guys so much. Of course, I've collaborated with them in the past. We don't always agree on stuff, but when we disagree, it's entertaining, I think, at best. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Hopefully, again, I met them at the launch of the semi-truck, or as we should probably say, the Roadster. And I'm hoping to hang out with them again at maybe Model Y unveiling. Sure, why not? They're always fun, and I love their channel. All right, let me move on to the comment of the day. Let's see. Comment of the day comes today. Oh yeah, so it's about the story yesterday that I did about, you know, BMWs catching on fire so much in Korea that the big portion of them got, not a decent portion of them got banned. I was just gonna making a video in contrast to, you know, Tesla's catching on fire, which is completely lopsided. Well, so this comment is actually funny. All right, I know it covers most of my white shirt, but that's okay. I think it's worth the read. Okay, so Marcus Fuller says, Alex, my BMW almost caught on fire last month. I caught it just in time. Sparks and smoke inside my cabin while I was parked and turned off. I love pictures, by the way. The BMW wire fires. The BMW wire fire situation is a real thing, man. I didn't doubt that at all. They finally approved the recall in America in January 2018. It scared the mess out of me, and BMW fixed it. Now, all sounds interesting, but check this out. Here's what he says. He goes, on another note, if the Saudis are allowed to have a major stockhold in Tesla with position to make decisions on the company, I will not be buying a Tesla. So essentially, Marcus is saying he'd rather be caught in a burning BMW gas car than buying a Tesla if Saudis have something to do with it. Now, okay, funny. And by the way, kudos to dumping on both car companies at the same time in one comment. But I have to say the reason I featured this comment is actually a lot of you are saying very similar things where, you know, people are fans of Tesla, but they are not big fans of Saudi Arabia. And that, I think, is a pretty common theme. And some of you talking about, you know, some of the money that the same government has been caught distributing to terrorist networks. Some of them talking about the, you know, human rights, sexual minority rights, female rights, and so forth, and horrible violations. And some are talking about their, you know, major interest in oil. Obviously, they still have, even though they're hopefully moving in the right direction with green energy. But all of these people are concerned about, you know, the product. I mean, a lot of people buy Tesla because, you know, it's an American company, it's environmentally friendly, it's a lot of things, right? And but this may actually damage a lot of this reputation as the green American rightful company with the money coming from PayPal, really, right? So that's a concern. That's a concern, and I've seen more and more comments like that. I wonder if it's actually going to affect sales if this happens, or even if it's, you know, while the whole negotiation is happening. So very interesting. I'm looking forward to some more of your comments on that. Maybe we can talk about it in the chat room in the extra mile that we're doing right after this on Patreon. And let me turn the chat on right here. Oh. I thought we had a chat, but let me see if I can fix it. How about now? Yes, there you go. So there's people talking in the chat room. I'm going to join them, and we're going to have a quick discussion after this. But yeah, that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow, and remember to stay charged.